things, if you're looking at the new plans for what's happening in Dyer over the next 10 years, a lot of big changes, but we're talking about 1,000 new residents here in Dyer. And I think it's really important that we all work together and make sure that we're prepared for this. And coming to meetings is so important. So thank you very much for attending the meetings. That's really, really important. And the other thing is I'd like to invite you to the other meetings. Tomorrow night is stormwater, safety meetings, plan commission meetings. And therefore you learn and you put those puzzle pieces together to learn about how all the systems working together. And that's makes a better Dyer, that's for sure. So I want to thank you for doing that. It's a pleasure, that you're coming to these meetings and you're attending. And I like it because you participate. You don't just show up. You come here and you say things, you ask questions, you're ready to learn. And that's going to make a really successful Dyer improvement. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Tanis. Next on our agenda is consent agenda. Do I have a motion regarding the consent agenda?
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a motion, and a second. Do I have any discussion? There being none, roll call, Sue, please.
Aye.
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 Aye. Next item on our agenda is reports. The first item under reports is the town council liaisons report. Councilperson Grisovich, do you have a report to make this evening?
Yes, I have 2 calls to action. At first, Dyer is going for its 5th consecutive title in the Best to Live category in the Northwest Indiana Times yearly Best of the Region competition. So I encourage everybody to vote daily via text through the phone number 219-697-6667. You can text 929 to that number every day until March 29th to vote for Dyer's 5th consecutive title in the category. And I encourage you to encourage your family and friends to do the same. The second call to action is to check out Dyer's monthly WJOB show to learn about what's going on around town. This month's episode features our own Public Works Director, Jeff Dvorak, and Dave Olechko from the Dyer Historic Society Volunteer Committee. Their discussion ranged from the public works operations and the challenges this year's unusual winter weather pattern brought to leaf pickup and plowing, to how you can get involved in the Dyer Historical Society Volunteer Commission as a volunteer contributor or visitor to the History Museum down here in the basement of Town Hall. So the last Wednesday of each month is when you can listen to that live show at 8:30 a.m. on 12:30 a.m. radio, or subscribe to the Town of Dyer show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. So I encourage you to do those things. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next item on our agenda is attorney's report. Attorney Reed, do you have a report for us?
Obviously, the lawsuit that's been filed over the Shannon Bridge pump station property. We have also still waiting the answer. They have 30 days to do that, which is fine. But we did make the application for the court to appoint the receivers, and the court will set that for a telephone, a Zoom hearing date. The court will go through its list and say, here's the next appraisers on the list, and do any parties have a conflict with those appraisers. And if you have a conflict with one, they go to the next one. So those should be appointed within probably the next 10 days or so.
Okay.
They will get usually 30 days to prepare a report, come up with a number. And once we have that number, we'll ask for approval to get that into the court clerk's office. And at that, if you choose to. And at that point, the court will issue us that property. And then all the rest of it is just fighting over how much.
When do you think that the timing would look like would you anticipate for the first step and then the final step with it? Or let's say the first step at the property acquisition?
Hopefully, we should be able to get the property. I think very end of May.
Okay.
Assuming there's no projections that point, which in this instance, normally objections aren't really well taken in takings anymore. It used to be you had to really demonstrate the type of really important need. You're type, we're building a highway and your property's right in the middle of it. Or, some other serious public event or the removal of a blight. This one is something that's already a public infrastructure.
Yeah.
It's immensely expensive, where to replace it. The investment's already been made, it is a public utility at this point. So I don't think, I don't know that we can see any of that. We haven't been filed yet.
Okay,
So I would expect it to be really expeditious. I don't think the property owner has any desire for property because please. Recent emails indicate that they recognize the liability of ownership first. If something happens, I wouldn't want to be on the other for that.
absolutely.
We have immunity for certain things.
Yeah,
So that's all going to them as well as it can be. That's all.
okay. Thank you. Next on our agenda is engineers report. Do you have a separate report, Joe, or you want to report under your agenda items?
I've got a few little things here and then.
Okay.
report on the agenda items.
Please do.
On the 23rd, the Orthodox subdivision of 935 Calumet Addition, the first review for water and sanitary went out. There was a few issues there on their preliminary plans, spoke with Department of Public Works that we put out.
Joe, can you let everyone know where that's located at?
It is it's on the portion of Calumet Avenue north of the Oncology Center where the trees are all cut down just south of, I don't remember the name of that street, but it's down the north edge of where the
Harrison
trees
Place.
are down, north of the Oncology Center. Also working with Jeff and the Department of Public Works, Deer Trail water main. There's a water main over there that crosses Hart Street that has had a lot of breaks in it. We have taken a look at it, put together set a plan and a profile and gave Jeff two options, and we're looking at maybe getting that out for to get some, not bids, but quotes to repair. So Deer Trail water main and the Northgate Tower, been working with Dixon on that, getting these site specific specs from them to get that going. Hoping to get that bid out by June. Looking to have a fall, it's the best time to paint that for their recommendation. But Jeff and I have been discussing that and have met with Department of Public Works for the 2026 lining project. And we have about 20 candidates that we're currently looking at for lining of 2026. So those are in review right now.
Are those only lining? Are there any?
As of right now,
Point
we're
repairs?
lining and there may
Open
be a
cut?
open cut, but we have
Okay.
just started the procedure of reviewing.
Okay,
So I just have the list, I haven't really dove into that.
wonderful.
Well, that's all I have outside of the agenda items.
Okay, I appreciate that. Any questions for Joe? Being none, next time on our agenda is old business. It's Jackson Court Dry Pit Sanitary Lift Station Rehabilitation. This is the ongoing, obviously rehabilitation work to the station that I think we reviewed initially, I believe in our December meeting, where Director Dvorak had provided us with correspondence regarding alternatives to replacing the station and moving the station. So this is a continued execution on that. And Jeff, if you just want to briefly describe what you have in your letter and how it fits into the overall
Sure.
scope of work you presented in
Yeah,
a
this
December meeting.
portion is the electrical work for the Jackson Court lift station. So last month we approved the generator. This is basically the electrical work to install that generator, install the transfer switch, to move wiring around the station to get where we don't have the power underground for the tube itself, to get everything, more stabilized at that station. So again, this is just all that electrical work that's got to be moving things around and getting things better fit for that location.
Okay. And you solicited 3
Yes.
quotes for
And
this.
we only received
And
one
the
quotation back and that was.
Only responsive bidder quoter was Midwestern Electric
Correct.
at $38,420. Does the board have a motion?
Yes,
Regarding the
motion to
project.
approve the quote from Midwest Electric for an amount not to exceed 38,420 for electrical work at the Jackson Court Lift Station.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Do I have any discussion? I think when we talked on this previously, Jeff, that this portion of the project ended up being a little more than originally anticipated. However, the generator purchase, which we had in the prior meeting, came out a little bit less. So I think we're maybe
We're
was
about
three or
3,000,
4,000.
maybe 4,000 over my original estimate, so
Yeah.
we're very close.
And that project was just under $300,000 total. And that was, of course, versus the 1.8 million that we were looking at previously. So this is a step in the right direction. So having no further discussion, could I have a roll call, Sue, please?
George.
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye.
Frank.
All right. Next item on our agenda is new business. Under new business is outstanding checks. Basically, we have a couple sets of checks, one for the water side of our utility and one for the sanitary side of the utility. And this is, I think, the members that have been with us here for a few years. I think George is new to this, but the clerk treasurer will, per the description there, there'll be outstanding checks that ultimately need to be voided after a couple years in accordance with.
That we should more than
Yeah.
2 years old now. You have to.
Using cash.
Yeah, that just were not cash. They make whatever attempts they can to reconcile these with the people who they were sent to. And usually have plenty of success, obviously, but leave some of them on the table that for one reason or another aren't serviceable any longer and need to be voided. And again, there's two of them for each of our utilities.
John, can we put these together or do they have to be separate?
You can put them together.
That's what I thought. Thank you, sir.
So if I can have a motion permitting our clerk treasurer to move forward with voiding these checks for the water and wastewater utility as presented.
Motion to void the checks from the wastewater board for $1,307.14 and from the water utility for $469.23.
Motion, do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion, a second. Do I have any further discussion? There being none, roll call seat, please.
That's George.
Aye.
Alex.
Aye.
Jeff.
Aye.
Aye. Next item on our agenda under new business is the replacement utility transit cargo truck and van. Jeff, if you can start out by telling us a little bit about this piece of equipment, how it'll be used.
Sure, it's we have a van that we use for our utility work. It has all of our valve parts, meter heads, again, it's basically used by infrastructure to do locates, service calls, that kind of work. It's not the large main brake truck that we had purchased last year, which we just received, a few months ago, or actually last month. This is more of a smaller unit that we use for day-to-day work and all that stuff. So this is for that. So again, the truck was originally 2000, I think it was a 2006. So this is just basically replacing with the.
Yeah, it's about 20
Because
years.
the other one's,
About-
it's getting old and it's
20 years
now
old.
prospect for the repair.
Okay.
So.
And this is utilized in the water, sanitary and stormwater.
Correct.
utilities.
It is utilizing all three utilities.
And,
yes.
and as such would be purchased in part from each of those utilities. You solicited 4 different vendors for this.
Yes,
Two of them were fully responsive. 2 of them were partially responsive.
correct.
But obviously we can only consider the responsive quotas, which is Curry Motors and Graf Ford, with Graf Ford being the lower of the 2. So you're making a recommendation then that we permit the purchase the portion from the water and sanitary for these vehicles in the amount of 21,699.66 from each utility.
Correct.
And then Jeff will go on to the Stormwater Board and make the same request to them for their portion. So I'm looking for a motion regarding this request from Director DeVorgier.
I'll make the motion that we give them $21,000, which is a lot of change. Whatever it was. From our portion of
The water and sand.
yeah.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, roll call seat, please.
Yes, George,
Aye.
Alex,
Aye.
Jeff,
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Next item on the agenda under new business is the water valve replacement project, and we've spoken about this in the past. We have a number of valves and hydrants that need to be repaired or replaced. And we've talked about a systematic program of replacing hydrants and associated valves, and that's a program that's still underway and still being worked on. However, in the interim, we have a number of valves that are either, non-functional or close to that.
Correct.
I think there's a list of, I believe, 9 of them on there, Jeff.
That is correct.
And he is bringing this before us.
Sure. So again,
And you can kind of describe the project.
yeah,
further.
again, these 9 valves, every year, Emmy Simpson goes out and exercises our valves through a program that they exercise valves, in which I believe it's 1/4 of the town every year. And these 9 were in the better sense, not working or very hard to operate. So again, it's my recommendation that we go ahead and actually have Calumet City Plumbing, which had the lowest price, to replace those valves at this time.
Jeff, Calumet City Plumbing's the ones that have been helping us with our catastrophic main breaks.
They have helped us with some of it. So again, we haven't really had one specific vendor that has been on every single one, but they have been one of the main ones.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
Just to clarify, we're providing the sod.
Yes, we're gonna, what we'll do is, this is just for the work that is actually to replace the valves. We will then come back later and do all the solder restoration in-house. So again, and there is gonna be some other areas that I have maybe some concrete and or asphalt, which we will contract at that time after it's been done.
This excludes restoration.
There.
But just a question, just to make sure everything's clear. I mean, whenever I see a large delta between bids, I always wonder why, and I just see that the only box that's checked different from the 3 vendors is whether it be strict adherence with the specifications or substitutions. And as long as you're happy with the substitutions, then we have no issue.
There is no issue.
Okay. That's a bit, that's a bit. Right there.
Yeah, because actually, Calumet City Plumbing actually met everything, all of our specifications. Only, Reichelt had some exclusions, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so do I have a motion regarding the request?
I just have one question.
Sure.
Traffic,
We'll take care, yeah, we will take care of that stuff on, Hart Street. Again, we will be out there to do the crowd control.
How many days does it take to replace? Just
One day.
one day, it's
Yeah.
one.
Do I have a motion regarding the request?
Motion to approve Calumet City Plumbing at $107,000 for the 2026 water valve replacement project as presented.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? There being none, roll call seat, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Next item on our agenda is any and all. Do I have any?
Yeah, Frank needs to get back next month so I can go on leave.
Frank needs to?
No, I mean Ed. My surgery's
I'm getting,
sometime in the first week of April, so I probably will not be here. I don't know the date yet.
okay. Okay,
And I'll
well,
probably hobble up here in May.
well, just let us know.
Absolutely.
We'll come get you.
If necessary.
You got that fancy new van.
No, you
3,000
can't,
watts, perfect. You plug an oxygen hose in there.
you can't attend remotely. Well, that is an option, so. Offer that to anyone, so, we'll keep that in mind. I know Ed's on the mend and hopefully he'll be doing, better by then.
Yeah.
I hope, I know he never likes to miss a meeting. I mean, they say like, he typically never does.
No.
So this is difficult for him on a number of levels, so, we'll definitely keep that in mind. Anyone have anything additional? Being nothing additional, do I have a motion for adjournment?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second.
Aye.
All in favor, voice vote, please. Aye. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.